What's the best way to make fitness fun and stay motivated when cycling indoors? What's up, everybody? This is Mario, and in today's episode, I want to tell you about a new app and game that I've been geeking out on lately. So, about a month and a half ago, I completed the Hawaii from Home Triathlon, which is a virtual Ironman race over the span of 7 days. So I broke that up into 7 different days, and I did the equivalent of an Ironman in that week. And that was the first week in October. And that is always kind of the beginning of fall. And I love fall. It's literally my favorite season with football and the weather and just having the colors and just everything it's literally my favorite. But once it starts to get into mid to late October, it starts to get pretty cold, windy, and that means if you want to ride your bike, you're going to have to do it indoors. And if you're going to ride indoors, you're going to have to use your bike trainer. So for me, I've had a magnetic bike trainer for a couple of years, and I think I bought it for like $50 from one of my friends. And it is just, if you've ever been on one, it's just not a fun experience. I really enjoy riding outside and having that, experience and getting the fresh air. But when you're sitting on a magnetic bike trainer, it is just not a fun experience. You're just sitting on your bike and you're basically staring at a wall for like 30 or 45 minutes or an hour, or however long you can deal with that situation. So, over time, I've figured out some ways to make that process a little bit more enjoyable. That's, listening to audiobooks, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, watching documentaries, watching Netflix. All of those things make that process a little bit better. But as it started to get a little bit colder and I started to turn my attention to riding indoors, I started to think about, do I really want to deal with riding indoors and making it not really fun? And that's when I kind of remembered what one of my friends had told me about this app called Zwift. And I had tried it out on his setup when I was back home and I was hanging out with him a couple of months ago. And it was awesome. And so after thinking about it a little bit and really, kind of thinking about how do I want to spend my time and all of that, I decided that I'm going to invest in a new smart trainer and start a Zwift subscription. So first of all, what is Zwift? From their website, it's basically an app for riding, running, and training with your community. And Zwift blends the fun of video games with the intensity of serious training and helping you get faster. So it's basically like a video game where you are cycling and it's connected to your bike. So here's how it works. You get on your bike and you connect your bike to a trainer, preferably a smart trainer, and then you create a Zwift account, you download the Zwift app, and then you start riding through their virtual worlds. And you can actually see on the screen, either on your phone or on a TV, yourself riding through these virtual worlds. And the way that it works is the app connects with the smart trainer through Bluetooth to automatically adjust the resistance on your bike as you ride through the world. So for example, if you're going up a hill in the virtual world, your resistance automatically gets harder on your bike as if you were to try and pedal up a hill outside. And then the same, if you're going downhill in the virtual world, the resistance is going to get a lot easier and you're going to be able to pedal a lot faster. So it's just a way more fun way to ride your bike, and it very closely mimics the experience of riding outside way better than a magnetic or a fluid or a regular trainer would. So I have been trying it out for the past month. It's been about a month or month and a half. And there's just like a few things that I actually really like about it. And I wanted to go through some of those today. So first, the first thing is it's just super fun, and it's a gamified experience. So I mentioned that they have these different virtual worlds. You can bike in a virtual world called Watopia, and that has all of these different diverse settings. It's got volcanoes, it's got mountains, it's got deserts, it's got little cities, and it's completely made up, but it's virtual, and it's really cool. And then you can also ride through New York, you can ride through London, you can ride through Paris, and it's just kind of fun to explore these different places. Also, with the gamified part of it, it's like a masterclass in gamification. So you earn different points for going a certain number of miles and for unlocking these different achievements. And each ride, you basically get a little bit closer to the next level, which gives you sweat points, which you can use to upgrade your gear and to do different things like that. So it's just really fun to explore these different things, earn these points, and kind of keep leveling up. Another thing that I like about it is because it's like fun and gamified, it's gotten me to spend more time on the trainer. And because of that, I'm getting better. So in the month to month and a half that I've been on the trainer, I've biked 319 miles, and I've spent 19 hours and 6 minutes on the trainer. I've also climbed 19,186 feet. So that's a lot of time on the bike, and I know I would not have spent that much time on the trainer if I was using my previous trainer, because 19 hours on that sounds brutal. It sounds miserable. So because it's so fun, I'm looking forward to it. I'm enjoying it, and I want to keep doing it. And because of that, I can feel myself getting better, a lot better at cycling. Third thing that I really like about it is it's gotten me more interested in the data behind cycling. So because I now have the smart trainer, Zwift calculates all of those metrics, the miles, the total time, the elevation, but it has even more advanced metrics like your power, your FTP, and your watts per kilogram. So these are just advanced metrics that I had known about them and I had read about them, but I had never really had a method to see what they were for me. And it's basically the way that all professional triathletes train, and anybody who is serious in getting better at triathlons or cycling uses. So your power is that metric that calculates how many watts are you putting out when you're cycling. And the FTP is your kind of max power that you can sustain over a period of time. And what you can do is once you have that power and the FTP calculated, you can use that for your training, and you can use that as the single metric to see how you're progressing over time. So there's all of these different metrics that are really interesting that are new to me, but I'm learning more about them, and I know that it's going to improve my training. But in addition to just those kind of scientific and advanced metrics, they have a metric called pizza slices burned, which just is kind of a fun way for you to see how many calories you've burned. And so far, I've apparently burned 32 slices of pizza. So that's just kind of a fun metric that they track. So those are just kind of three things that I really like about it. Another thing is the group rides. And they have group rides where, since it's a virtual world, if you have other people who have trainers and other people who are on Zwift, you can connect with them and you can ride. And I've been doing that with some of my friends, and it's basically brought us all a lot closer. So I have group rides on Saturdays with some of my high school friends. And these are people who live in I've got one friend who lives in Idaho, another friend who lives in Minnesota, and two buddies who live in Wisconsin. I'm in Iowa, but we are all able to connect and get together on Zwift, and we just go on a bike ride together where it's just the 4 or 5 of us. And we can talk and kind of hang out just like we would as if we were riding the 4 or 5 of us outside. So it's kind of something that, even though we're all separated because of distance and because of coronavirus, not able to see each other as much, we're actually able to hang out every weekend or random times throughout the week. I also have a lunch ride that I do with one of my coworkers on Thursdays, and we just kind of hang out, we ride, and it's a good time. So those are just a few things that I really like about Zwift. It's super fun, it's gamified, it's gotten me to spend more time on the trainer, and because of that, I'm getting better. It's gotten me more interested in data, and it's through the group rides, it's brought me closer to my friends, and it's allowed us to hang out throughout this time. So those are just a few things that I really like about it. But if you're interested in Zwift, like, here's how you can go about and getting it set up for you. So first, obviously, you're going to need a bike. And next, you're going to need a trainer. So if you have a smart trainer, then it should connect and sync automatically. But you don't have to have a smart trainer. You can have any sort of trainer. Any sort of trainer should work. And once you have that trainer, what you would need is you would need a way to calculate your speed and cadence. And you can just get a speed and cadence sensor, and any of those should be kind of the perfect companion for that classic trainer. Then once you have your bike, your trainer, and a speed and cadence sensor, you can create an account on Zwift, and then you can start your 7-day free trial. There's a really handy website and resources that answers all of these questions of what do I need to ride on Zwift. So if you just go to Zwift.com, that's ZWIFT.com, that should answer all of your questions about what do you need, what trainers are supported, and what's not supported. So just kind of want to bring it back to you. Are you interested in having more fun and making more progress and improving more on the bike? If so, I definitely recommend Zwift. It's been super fun, it's been engaging, and I know that it's going to help me improve on the bike. So the reason why I kind of wanted to do this podcast today is I am actually going to be doing my first Zwift race today. So they have these different events, and this morning and actually throughout the whole day, they have different group rides and they have different races and time trials. And I've never done a race before, but I'm going to be in about 20 minutes. I'm going to be jumping on, going to get a warm up, and then I'm going to do my first Zwift race. I think there's like maybe 70 people who are in this race that are around my level, and they're supposed to be super intense and super fun. So I'm going to see how that goes. And that's what I have for you guys today. I hope that was helpful, and I hope you have an amazing day.